Okay, so we're now live. So is everybody ready? We got to wait for Maz here quick, and then I'm going to count us in.
Phil, I think I need to halfway through. I think I need to have a live shot of the lightning behind me. That'd be pretty cool.
You got a
That'd be
storm
awesome.
going on?
What? Oh yeah, dude, big time.
You do? Okay.
Look on the radar. I'm in like Southwest Florida, and there's big.
Yeah, I got too much stuff to look at right now, man. I'm stressing out and having to do both these jobs.
Why are you stressing out? You look great, Phil.
Just have a drink. We'll get through
I do.
it.
I'm going to have my Jello shot too.
Whoa.
Yeah, whatever
right,
drink
Maz
game
is
we're
back.
doing tonight, I'm ready.
All right, Maz is back. I'm going to count us in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is Stormfront Freaks podcast, and if you're watching our recording, it's Stormfront Freaks Raw because it's just not as fancy as our audio version of this whole thing. But hey, we're always looking for feedback. We're always looking for feedback from you, so please drop us a review on Apple Podcasts or send us an email or even a social media message. Just find us at stormfrontfreaks.com. This is episode 32, and we're honored to have Oklahoma weather legend Gary England is going to be joining us. So we're looking forward to that. We're also going to be discussing the progress of TV meteorology and really what the future holds there. So looking forward to some good discussion. And don't forget, stick around for our Weather Fools, WX resources, and so much more that we've got. I do want to, before I turn it over to Maz and introduce the team, I want to let everybody know that we've just agreed to have Chris Sanner of the Tornado Titans in Oklahoma City. Chris Sanner, who you're probably familiar with if you've listened to us, because he actually was a guest back a few episodes ago, and he also has now been contributing his Titan U Minute to the show, which is just kind of some storm chasing tips and forecasting tips and photography tips. But Chris has now actually agreed to join our co-hosting group. And so we're looking forward to having him on as well and having a good storm chasing background joining the team. So that should be a lot of fun. But Maz, I'm going to flip it over to you. It's happy hour. You can introduce everybody.
You're flipping it over to me?
I'm flipping it over to you, brother.
I'm already nervous.
We haven't even got drunk yet.
Very subtle.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Phil promised that this would be the episode that we have.
Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm drinking. Actually, I got a couple of different beers tonight. I'm doing a Belgian White Blue Moon, which is really
very classy
because it actually has a celery flavor to it. I am like,
is it diet?
Is anything, but I do have a diet Mick Ultra just in case. So yeah. Anyways, that's me. Anyway, all right. Hey, let's go, ladies first. Let's start with Dina. Dina, what are you drinking tonight? You got some of the heavy stuff?
Yes, I do. This is called a Huckleberry Hooch, and it's made with that Old Smoky blackberry moonshine I was talking about before. I love this stuff, and mainly it's a drink that we had at a restaurant. And I looked up the recipe and found it. And it's got the blackberry moonshine. It's got like pineapple juice and cranberry juice. And then you put berries in it. Like, ooh.
Yeah, ooh. What a great summer drink.
It is. It's really good. And it's not one of those like really strong drinks to drink, but it really hits you. So it's fun. I'll put it on Twitter. So I like putting my little drink recipes on Twitter now.
So you must have found the box of hooch.
I did find the box. Well, I found a liquor store. Like I live kind of out in nowhere, but there is a liquor store. I found it.
Oh, thank goodness. Well,
hallelujah.
You're not too far from the hills, so you could probably make their way up there to North
than
Georgia.
The grocery store. It's closer than anything. So we have civilization.
Well, we knew when you were on with Jim Cantori, you were like, I can't find it, so I'm going wino.
I know. I was like, I had all this like stuff ready, and then where's all my alcohol?
Well, you found it. It sounds like so. That
I did.
All right. So from one Weather Channel gal to the other, Kim Cunningham, what do you got?
Well, I am going back to my roots, back to Cincinnati. I was up there last weekend, and I've got psychopathy. Do you guys know this one? Anybody?
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep, that's
Yes.
a mad tree.
Well, how do you pronounce it again?
Psychopathy.
Is that a word or a brand?
You know,
It's
no,
beer. It's neither. It's a beer.
I'm just trying to figure out if it's in the English language because I've never heard that word.
it is now. It is now. I always thought it was psychopathy, and then somebody corrected it for me when I was up there. And you don't need many of these. So it's a 6.9. It's an IPA, of course. It's kind of grassy, hoppy, citrusy. Really good. I'm really enjoying
Celery?
it.
Any celery notes?
No
in that
celery.
too?
This is not grass, but not the kind you get in Colorado.
Maybe my wife was cooking something and I don't know. It got on.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
Maybe it's bad.
Hey, so we're gonna go to our guest. This is not his official introduction, but Gary, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I didn't know I could.
Oh.
You guys didn't tell me, man. We could have had a heck of a show.
Yeah.
I could go to
We still
somebody.
got time. Hey, we still got time, Gary. We still got time.
I
Listen,
could
if I'd
go to
known- if I'd
Brady.
known about this, I would have invited Rip and Tootie and Tiny and Curly to be here with me. It's good to be with you guys.
Awesome. And we'll get to your formal introduction here in just a second. All right, Brady, what are you faking? I mean, what are you drinking tonight?
Okay, this is not fake. I have the bottle here. It's a Malibu Caribbean rum. And mixed into that, I have coconut rum, and then I have a little bit of vodka, and some orange juice, and some pineapple juice, and a lime to top it off. I tell you what, this is my famous
Brady's
rum punch.
growing up.
I am growing up. I have grown
Makes
up.
me
Look
want
at
to
me.
cry.
So, I'm in Florida. I'm in a tropical
Baby's grown
environment. So I heard her playing a drinking game tonight, so I needed to be ready. You know.
Yeah, well, that could be dangerous if you're playing the drinking game.
One day he'll get to the hooch. One day he'll get
One
I'll
day.
invite him over.
I
Y'all
need
come
Dina for
down.
that. I need Dina to show me how to make one of those.
All right, and to our host, Philip, what are you drinking tonight?
Hey, what's
buddy?
up? Well, I'm still on the. It's good summertime, so I'm still drinking the Mike's Hard lemonades. However, I also made a batch of Jello shots.
Oh,
So I will be enjoying a couple of those this evening as well.
this evening? Is that
Do
what
we
you
get to
just said?
watch you?
Yes.
He had
Do
a
we get
couple
to watch you
already.
eat it?
I did. I started early. I did tweet that out. I started early.
Are you going to slurp it out? Do we get to see this?
No, I won't do it. Like, yeah, I won't do
Oh,
it live. You
come
can watch
on.
it later, but not right now.
Hey,
we don't
kids,
need
what's
that
for
sound
dessert?
effect. Yeah. Got to make sure my kids don't grab that Jello.
Yeah.
Ah.
Exactly. All right, well, let's get to our formal introduction. Dina, do the honors, please.
All right, I'm excited about this. Tonight, we welcome Gary England. He's well known for his time as a TV meteorologist with KWTV News 9 in Oklahoma, where he received 4 Heartland Emmy Awards and has been the recipient of numerous other honors, including the prestigious National Edward R. Morrow Award for coverage of a tornado event. In 2015, he was appointed by the Oklahoma Board of Regents as a University of Oklahoma consulting meteorologist in residence. And back in 1981, Gary became the first person, I love this, the first person in history to use Doppler radar for direct warnings in the public, which is the way we do it now. This is the way it is. It's great that he did this to start us off. Besides appearing in the Steven Spielberg movie Twister, he's also been sought after as a consultant for tornado weather specials produced by national and international television channels, appearing in over 60 productions. He's also a graduate of the University of Oklahoma and has a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics and meteorology.
Yeah.
So, Gary, like one of my questions, and I was so excited to talk to you, is you have a 4-decade-long career. And I would want to ask myself these questions after 4 decades, like, really, what are you most proud of? I mean, to look at your career, you've done so much, you've gotten so many awards, but really, what was the thing you're most passionate and proud of?
The fact that I kept a job for 42 years.
I was like, you hung in there for that long, too.
In TV, too.
Yeah.
My daddy wouldn't have believed it.
Wow. I was just amazed when I looked at your bio and I looked at, you must have probably 100 awards or more than that. I mean,
Wow. Yeah.
it was just incredible what you have had over 4 decades. Just incredible.
They're nice, but you can't eat them.
No, true.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and so it's nice, and I appreciate all that. But I just was happy to have a job and be able to take care of my family and my daughter, and now my 2 granddaughters, and and actually have a car to drive. It's exciting, man.
There you go.
A laptop. You can talk to us.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Great.
If you look over his shoulder, I think he's got a couple of his Emmys back there, actually.
Strategically placed.
Yeah. No, they sit there. I put my mail on them, actually.
Okay, so Gary, how close does a tornado come to your house?
Oh, to my house, and a small one hit several years ago and just damaged part of the roof. But as far as the large tornado, it's not that far. Far enough. About I like it, maybe 5 miles, something like that.
Wow.
Mile
That's
wide.
nice.
Something like
I like how he said, "Man, I had a little small one that."
I've never seen one.
No biggie.
That's pretty common, probably in Oklahoma
Not
to go.
fair.
Yeah, I've had a couple little ones, but nothing big.
Now, Gary, is that your favorite? Would you say that's your favorite part about weather, like watching the weather, or what's your favorite weather phenomenon? Would you say?
Oh, I really don't like severe weather.
Really?
Yeah, it's high stress. People die. And it's so it's not a lot of fun in that respect. My best part for me when I just love doing my show, and I always felt like if I could just make someone smile or cause them to smile at home, because most people go to work and they have a real nasty day, and they come home, and if you can help them, if I screw up, and I'm not eloquent at all, if I screw up, they can laugh at me, and I think they feel better. So it's worked really well. But it's just doing my regular shows.
Wow.
That's great.
That is great. I know that we all get kind of excited about severe weather, but we agree that, we know that, what the kind of problems it can cause people. So, yeah, well, good, because that's a great way to go to work every day. Think I'm going to make somebody smile. I like that, Gary.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gary, hey, I heard that Oklahoma City is the highest probability of having a tornado. Is it like 1 in 400 chance or something? Is that right?
Well, sometimes that doesn't even count in the south part of the city. They've been hit about. Well, you get that more Oklahoma is just south of Oklahoma, suburb. Yeah. Gosh, how many times they've been hit in the last few years?
More than I can count.
Large,
at least 4 F5s or something, right?
They had an F3 and 60. Gosh, not 60. Anyway, whatever year it was. At night, it was an October outbreak, western Oklahoma, and normally they don't last very long, and they're not quite as strong, and had an F4 with that, but we ended up about, I think, roughly, I'm guessing 20 tornadoes, made it all the way to central Oklahoma, and about 10 o'clock at night, one was coming through Moore, Oklahoma from the south. I believe that was 98, yeah. And it's coming from the south, just west of Interstate 35, man. And we got the great video, of the power flashes and all that. And then after that, you had the 99, you had the 13. There's been some other ones in between, the 04s, whatever they are. There've been so for there, it's like, I don't know what the probability be, but it's relatively high.
Right. So how do they get people to move to Moore, Oklahoma? That's what I want to know.
Listen, I interviewed, what is his name? Braden. He works for Channel 4, NBC here in Oklahoma City, and he's fairly new in the business. And I interviewed him, and he moved to Moore, and he knows the way. He went to school at OU for 4 years, and I said, "Why do you do that, man?" Because they said, "Well, you do get to see more weather down there."
That's right.
You see a lot of stuff, man. Houses going by, cars in the air,
cows flying by.
So, Gary, hey, what county do you live in, and what county is Oklahoma City
County.
in?
It's in Oklahoma. It's called Oklahoma County, and just south of us. Dip to it, baby. It's Moore, Oklahoma is just south of us, and so there's been huge tornadoes in this area for a long time. But the huge ones, they occur elsewhere. But these suckers are something else. I gotta tell you, it's a little. I remember in the one guy came through with the Doppler on wheels on it, and they found out the winds are possibly as high as 318 miles per hour. And that we had 8 supercells that day. Tell me if I'm running long or anything, okay?
No, yeah, you're fine.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I believe we had eight supercells that day. And it was a day where people weren't really sure what was going to happen. We thought, there'd be thunderstorms and a few tornadoes, and good God, it almost blew the whole state away. But when first one started down in southern Oklahoma, this is the big one, hit Oklahoma City and killed all the people. It came up as right near Lawton, Oklahoma, probably about 110 miles, 20 miles south. It blew up fast, man. Boom, little skinny tornado, you know. And then we watched that, had live video on it from the helicopter, and then that quickly dissipated. He's like, hey, it's probably gone. Bam, it came back just a little bit bigger. And by that time, other ones are going up. The storms are going up to the west and to the south. And it was interesting. It wasn't like a line. You know, the air mass was extremely unstable, and it had all the good lift. I had all the things you needed. And man, those things were going up everywhere. And so at some point, you know, we cover Oklahoma City, which is about 600 square miles, plus the western 2/3 of Oklahoma, which is gigantic in size. So we have to watch all those towns, watch the Oklahoma City area. But that one came up, and it was just quite fascinating. It just kept coming. It cycled several times. Every time it cycled, it got a little bit bigger. And, you know, it finally got with about 40 miles to the Oklahoma City area. Of course, we had the warning out for here. Of course, everyone did. But it's coming toward Oklahoma City. And I just said to myself, God, it is coming to the city. You know, we hadn't had one like that in, well, forever. It was a historical event. And it went near Chickasha, about 40-some miles out, went a little bit to the north. I got to tell you, and it was about 3/4 of a mile wide at that point. It just disappeared, and we're all looking at the live video going,
"Oh my God!"
Oh! And then it just came back, and it was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles wide for a little ways. And we had one of our storm trackers was there, and it was so darn wide he couldn't get it in his viewfinder, and he wasn't real close. And, and
oh my gosh,
it just kept coming in. You know, and that was the last time it cycled, I believe. Not one other time past it, but anyway, it just kept coming. You know, and when on the warnings that day, I said to the people, you know, you don't go outside and look at this thing because it will kill you. And the next thing I said was, because I've said tornado warning, take cover, you know, all jillions of times. But I said, you know, it'll kill you. And then a few minutes later, I said, most structures will not withstand these winds. Ooh. And a little while later, 2-3 minutes, whatever it was, I said, you need to move to a place of safety. If you can get below ground, do. And fortunately, we still had about 30 minutes before it got into more and everything. But it was just a true monster. It was fascinating to watch. You know, the entire mesocyclone was on the ground. Yeah. Now it narrowed a little bit as it went into more Oklahoma to about 1/4 of a mile. That's when the winds went up to about 318 or so.
Wow.
So it was a hoss, man. It was just a hoss.
This was the 99 tornado, right?
Yeah.
The May 3rd? Okay.
Yeah.
Gary, when was the first time you remember that you guys had live footage, tornado footage, whether it's chopper or on the ground? And what's been some of the viewer feedback that has come back when they actually get a chance to see it live on air?
Pardon me, I'm gonna have a little drink here.
There we go.
It looks like vodka, but it's not. The first thing I remember well about that, first time we had live coverage from a helicopter, and probably first time we had live coverage ever of a tornado was 1981. It was the Binger tornado. It was about 3/4 of a mile wide, and it was another hoss. And it came in the southwest. It just came from Binger, which is west of Oklahoma City, came up fairly close to Oklahoma City, and then dissipated. And we had a little tiny helicopter, and it had enough to have 4 people in there, but they shot out the window. The audio was great. They were pretty excited. They got caught on the inflow to it. And the pilot told me later, he said he probably had about another 5 seconds or they would have gone down, but he was able to get out of it. These guys, you know how news guys are. They can cuss, baby. Tape is good. And then they got caught in the hail and all that, and they had to land on the interstate. But that was 81, and that was the first time I think anybody really had done it like that. And so it's pretty darn exciting, you know, and we didn't know we were doing something smart, you know. We looked really good, but we didn't know what we were doing. Instead, get in that helicopter and take a camera. That's
why the audio was too good, is what you're saying. If they were cussing all the time, right?
And it was, and that part of the time, you know, they were flat live, and it was screaming, but it was fascinating stuff. But the viewer feedback a lot of time was, you know, you're interrupting Jeopardy. Get the hell off of there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, ever hear that? Yeah. But most people were very thankful. You know, it became entertainment for some people. Here's the way I look at tornadoes. He's coming down the road, baby, and you're right in front of it. You're really concerned, baby. Where is it? Where's it going? What time is it going to get to my house and all that? But if it's going to somebody else over to the left or the right and it's going to go between, it's kind of like the NASCAR. They all gather around, so to speak, to watch it go through, and the houses go up and everything go up in the air. And so you got the people that are really interested, and you got the ones that are very fearful, but you got the ones that are just, they're tourists, so to speak. They're Okies, and they watch all this stuff. But the feedback has always been good until recent years, when there's so much hype and so much, look at this, and it's the biggest in the world, and it's whatever. And they, a lot of times, I don't know about other markets, but I know in this market, they're on the air when they don't need to be on the air. There's a range here, and that's the audience reaction right now, is get the heck off. I don't need to know about a range shower. And so it's a mixed. Now, if it's a bad tornado, like the more tornadoes we've had, some of the other ones, and people's lives are saved, they're thankful for about 2 days.
Wow.
Then they're back to get the hell off Jeopardy's on.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes, there you go, baby. Back in the 80s, there was a big tornado west of Oklahoma City, big mesocyclone, and it was all rotating, and it had a nice hook echo. It had all the features you expect. And we were covering it. No tornado, just a beautiful mesocyclone and all that. And tornado warning during Jeopardy and something else. And we stayed on the air. And a guy wrote me a letter after that, actually an email. And he said, oh God, how do you put that? But anyway, he called me a lot of different names, and he was really mad because he'd missed his programs. Well, the next day we had a tornado outbreak. I'm going to say exact date. And it was serious. In fact, I think this when that happened, it was the day before the '99 tornado, I believe, something like that. Anyway, he wrote me this email, and it was long, man. I still have it. It was long, and he's pretty fearful that God was going to get him for raising Cain the next day about trying to say. I mean, he really felt guilty, and he deserved it.
Wow.
Now, Gary,
it's kind of nice. You actually see somebody feel bad about something they say, though,
seriously.
or hear it.
Yeah.
Now, Gary, I think with Jeopardy, it was actually Wheel of Fortune that was on. Just to let you know.
Yeah, no one ever got mad about interrupting Jeopardy. That's a fact.
Jeopardy, they're the worst.
Yep. Been there.
Tornado has to be at their doorstep before they want to be warned.
The Jeopardy folk.
So, Gary, you've obviously have a lot of probably skills at this point, like looking at the radar, because that was what you did for a while. Being able to have to identify storms and whether they were going to form into a tornado or not, because you had to be ready to go on the air. What would you recommend? I guess else than just looking at the radar in terms of how do you kind of identify a storm else than a hook or the velocity? How do you identify if it's going to produce a tornado or not?
Sometimes we still don't know that, Years ago, we did a lot of plotting analysis of surface maps, every hour and everything like that going on. And we really used the storm trackers through the years. I think the first storm tracker I hired was in 1991, and Val Castor's it was. And he took more pictures of his foot that day than he did the tornado, because he like this. You see the tornado in the video, then you see his leg, and he's doing this routine. But we used those guys, and we put them out where we thought something might happen, and then they became very good at looking just at the field observations. With the radars we used for many years, the analogs, let me tell you, they have high resolution, black and white, and you can attenuate out part of the echo. And I remember one time the Stillwater tornado came in from the northwest, had winds about 180 miles per hour, and it was just a big old thunderstorm. And I took out about 2 and then 20, maybe 30 dBz, and that just reduces the size that you look inside the storm, and curled up in there like a snake. Was that tornado. Came right over the campus and touched down the south part of Stillwater. But so with those radars, you could see the hook echo, and we could check for the vault. We could take, is there a vault, or is there a bounded weak echo region, those things. And then in the field reports, we were pretty good, but not, that good. Even today, you're still not sure if a storm's going to produce a tornado. But with all the technology, man, I've been out to the TV business 3 years. It's relatively easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I could put my dog on there and he could just sniff over there where he thinks it is. It gives you where where we have the most shear, where the best winds are. It was just, God, it's just incredible what they have now. My life would have been a lot easier if I'd had that a long time ago.
Oh
Because
yeah.
what did you have when you first started? I was kind of wondering, like, did you have the magnet board when you first started? Did you
Sticks and
draw it?
rocks.
Did you draw it on a board?
Yeah, tin cans, 2 tin cans with wire between them. That works, by the way. Well, we had David Grant was the guy. His real name was David Guild. He was there Channel 9 before me. But he had his 4 sides, 2 of them big drums, and then you roll them around. Didn't want to leave your hand down it because they came down, they'd smash your fingers. They were magnetic, really ugly blue, and you'd had to put magnet stuff and all that kind of stuff. And our magnets were so old, during the show, you put it up too early, they start sliding down. And,
Southern. It's a southerly flow.
Yeah. So what do we have? Oh, excuse me, golly. I'm sorry about that. That's my wife.
okay.
Hey guys, this is my wife. Anybody want to talk to my wife?
Hey.
That's her right there. She's
Hello, Mrs. England.
yeah, Mary. I told her not to call me. She
Oh,
didn't listen to me.
I'm busy, honey. Don't call.
Yeah. Well, we had the magnetic maps. The Channel 9 didn't have a radar, but we quickly bought one from Enterprise, a small one, only about 50,000 watts, something like that. Well, it wasn't too strong.
Covered a couple blocks away from the studio.
Yeah. You had no idea what you had. You didn't know whether it was a rainstorm or hailstorm or whatever. But then very quickly after that, we moved on to more sophisticated radar, and those were good. But when I first started, it was basically we used chalk right on there, and I spent a lot of time. I had a 7-minute show, man, at around 6 o'clock. God,
Wow.
7 minutes.
it was
Every
awful.
day?
that's a dream.
Every
Yeah.
day,
What?
every day.
Uh-huh.
No, I run out of anything to say after 2 or 3 minutes. But it was
Start over. Just start over. Do
interesting
it
time.
again.
We had some people in the field for news, a little bit in the weather, but it was just a different world. And Oklahoma City had not been I think you have to take a market and make it a severe weather market.
Yeah.
Not by scaring people, but by good equipment, good meteorologists, and doing what needs to be done. And you can build it. And we were very fortunate. We built it, but early on, like I said, a little magnetic stuff, and then we got. In fact, I had a company I put together. I got this bright idea. A couple other guys, and we decided we'd make those big, still plastic maps. All the information was on the backside. The audience couldn't see it. Man, they were great stuff and magnetic, and you glued it to this big board, and we did some big ones. One was about, I don't know, like 20 feet across. This was over somewhere in Missouri, and they bought that from us, and they spent a lot of money. And I didn't get to see this, but I got to see the tape later. The guy was on the 10 o'clock show, and I don't know why he ran long, but the lights caused the glue to become loose. And they said they're on the national map, and they said about 200 numbers and letters. They jumped off the board.
Oh my
Oh my God, that's
And
weird.
and we had to give them the money back. You know how that is.
Oh, that's just wrong.
But with a series of those, before the great that we have now, where shows where the tornado is, where the people are, and the time of arrival, and all that, we had a great big board. I took 9 U.S. Coast Geodetic Survey maps, 9 of them, cut them, and glued them together, put them on this big board, and it was great. It's like you zoom in with your radars now, but they just drew them in, show my hand, and it was for his time. It was way ahead of his time. But my boss decided he was going to drill little holes where all the towns were, and he was going to put Christmas lights on there. And so when the morning come out, those light up. Unfortunately, we moved on to something else.
That must have been beautiful.
Yeah, it was just gorgeous. I can tell you.
It was lit, Phil. It was working on our terms.
Oh,
Well,
Brady.
your term was lit. I remember Gary said Hoss, and I'm just saying, Gary, Brady was not born during the Bonanza time.
I don't even know what that is. So
Exactly. You want to explain Hoss?
Well, we'll come up with something else there. How about Pilgrim?
nope, that doesn't ring any bells.
John-
I know the Pilgrims. I know
John
that.
Wayne?
John Wayne. Yeah.
John Wayne. Oh.
I know Wayne's World. I don't know that either.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Wayne's
So
World.
sad. So sad. So sad.
I asked these kids, some producers and weather guys out there, say, do you know? I was going through the name. Do you know Red Skeleton? You remember him? No. They don't remember anybody because they were dead. They were not alive. Guys, you stay in that place so long, you see, and like on the news directors I had, I gave them numbers. And last count, maybe it's 40, 42, something like that. 40, I don't know, a lot of them. And because they can't, guy hired me. I got the job, and when I went to work about 2 weeks later, he was gone. They had another guy, and it was just bang, bang, bang. It was crazy, as you guys know how television is. And a lot of times in those days, it was just, hey, walk with me, and they walk you to the door, say, see you, buddy, and that's what they did. There was no anything. It's a brutal business.
Your wife is not like the general manager's daughter or anything, right? From before.
No.
Keep your job.
I was really lucky. I'm not real good. I just lucky. Right time, right place. Had terrible weather here. You make it into a weather market, and it worked for me really well.
Yeah.
So Gary, how can we follow you? Are you on social media now, like Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter some. Gary EOK. It's at Gary EOK. I think that's what it is. And I never write myself, so anytime I get a chance to be on some, I'm on, but I don't have a regular program or anything. But there's a lot of people here, a lot of meteorologists, several, creating their little weather service, and got their maps and the forecast maps and the radar and commentary. So there's a lot of changes going on there.
Yeah, it's Gary EOK. You've got almost 83,000 followers. That's pretty. That's amazing. That's awesome. Okay.
It'll be 83,001 in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, he told me earlier he almost deleted my emails to him because he didn't know who the hell I was, and he probably gets about 80 emails an hour.
Yeah, sure.
Well, when you called on the phone, I thought, who is this jerk? Because no number came up.
Hey,
We do that every night.
I get that all the time, Gary. You're not the only one that thinks that when I call. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump to our lightning round, which is, Gary, this is our fun round of quick questions that we always have for our guest. So the question for you, Gary, are you familiar, and I'm sure you are, but are you familiar that there is a Gary England drinking game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very familiar.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's like, I play it with myself all the time. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Tonight we're going to play the Gary England Drinking Game Challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a Gary England phrase, and then I'm going to give you two options. Say like, okay, is that phrase either a 1-drink phrase or a 3-drink phrase? And you just have to tell me how many drinks that phrase is worth in your game.
So you're going to ask them?
No, I'm going to ask you.
I don't have the slightest idea.
You know what?
I didn't make the game up.
Should be fun.
I didn't even know.
I'll give you a
people
hint.
started sending me email around the country that said, saw your drinking game, and I didn't know about it for the longest time. I catch that guy down to OU that put it together.
So here's what you can do. You could just take a guess.
Okay.
You can just take a guess. But know this: the phrases that you might say more often are probably worth fewer drinks, and the phrases you might not say as much are probably worth more drinks. Does that make sense?
Well, it's like if I say tornado warning for Pushmataha County, that's a big drink deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, you're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
one of the.
But then,
that's one of
other towns, if you just say the town, it's a big deal.
Okay, so here we go. So here's the first phrase.
You didn't want to play by my rules. I'm sorry.
Immediate. So here's
I'm
the
not
phrase.
ISA.
It is his game.
That's true. All right.
He can play any way he wants.
Yes, you should make the rules.
Immediate tornado precautions. Immediate tornado precautions. Is that worth 1 drink or 3 drinks?
Should be worth 3.
That's correct. 3 drinks.
Nice.
You're 1 for 1. All right.
You've
Ranger
played.
9. Ranger 9. Is that 1 drink or 3 drinks?
Oh gosh, that should be a 1.
That is a 1. That is you're 2 for 2.
Nice.
You're on a roll. All right.
Right,
Doppler
Gary.
radar. 1 drink or 4 drinks?
1.
That is 1. 3 for 3.
Let's go.
All right, here's one. Do you see power flashes? Is that 2 drinks or 4 drinks?
I would say should be 4.
And it is 4.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, Gary.
Are we drinking when he gets wrong? Is that what's going on?
Yeah,
Well,
we
you should drink when you get it right, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Although he's supposed to
I don't
say-
have enough alcohol to do that.
he's supposed to say it, not me. But anyway, all right, take shelter. 1 drink or 3 drinks?
3.
That is 3. You're on a roll.
All
All right,
right.
here's one of my favorites. Pottawatomie County. Is that
Sit
2
back.
drinks or 4?
I think that's 4.
That would be 2.
Oh, everybody
Oh,
drink.
all right.
All right.
Here's another good one. Wacomus. 2 drinks or 4?
What was that?
I don't know. Someone put their drink down really hard.
Sorry, I put my drink down.
It's Michelob.
Wacomus says we're part of the Twister movie was made. Maybe it's higher, but I'd say 2.
That is 2, correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
You definitely
Mobile
made up this
home.
game. There's no way.
Mobile,
Yeah, I think he did
There's
make this
no
one.
way.
Wait, say it again. Say it again, Phil.
mobile home. 1 drink or 3?
3.
That is 1. Mobile home's 1.
See, now I got that one. He got that
You
one
say
wrong
that a
on
lot.
purpose.
He's
to
doing
throw us
that
off
on
the
purpose.
scent.
I know.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Will someone answer that phone? Is that 2 or 4 drinks?
Yeah, what is that about?
Well, at one point we had like 12 phone lines coming in, and the people are calling, and it's ringing, and I'd be on there saying tornado on the ground, blah 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 blah, and it's moving northeast at 35, and the phone is ringing, and I got 3 meteorologists back there, and I'd throw a pin. I got really good. I'd stick them right in the back with a pencil. Yeah. And then when they look at me, I'd go. So, but okay, what was the question?
2 drinks or 4?
For what?
Exactly.
Someone answer that
Oh,
phone. It's probably would someone answer that blank blank phone, but
Well, it'd probably be 2. 2 should be
it
2.
is 4. That's 4.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
All
right.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Bam.
dang. Brady, was that you?
Okay. And then here's the one you said earlier. Tornado warning in effect until whatever. Is that 1 drink or 3?
That should be 3.
That is 3.
Wow.
Book Echo. 1 drink or 4?
That should be 4. They like that.
It's 1 drink. You say it all the time. That's why.
Oh.
You'd get with as often as you probably say hook echo. Your whole audience would be sleeping by the time you were 5 minutes into your 7-minute show. All right,
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Waterloo Road. Is
Waterloo
that 2
Road?
drinks or 4 drinks?
Now, Gary, I'm starting to sweat, so be careful how you answer.
Seriously.
Waterloo. What'd you say, 2 or 4?
Waterloo Road. Yep, 2 or 4.
Should be 2 in
That
reality.
is 2. That is
All
2.
right.
Oh,
All right, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna finish with this one. The last one is portable radio. 1 drink or 3?
1.
Unfortunately, that is 3. That
Cheers.
is
made
3.
God,
But,
who made that game up?
I don't know, but you did. What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 correct,
Yeah.
and only
You know,
5
thank you.
incorrect. So that
Phil,
Right.
is,
Phil, as soon as we brought it to his attention that we had to drink when he
I
didn't
noticed.
get it right, it's like
Yeah.
he just started getting them wrong.
Right,
It was a little suspicious.
Is it the Haas thing? Is that what it was?
Suspicious.
it was. Hey Gary, thanks for playing that with us. That's always fun.
That was fun. That was
and
Yeah.
you were great, Maz.
Thanks.
Wait, I guess I shouldn't mute myself when I do that, right?
Yeah, no.
Probably
All right,
not.
Hold on. Please stand by. All right. Oh, weatherproshop.com, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 Hey, did you know that is the only source for high quality Skywarn weather spotter merchandise and referral tools? Weatherproshop.com. Weatherproshop.com. Check out their embroidered t-shirts, polos, and caps for men and women. We've been drinking. I probably shouldn't say caps because it's going to come out wrong, but they also carry unique report logos, IDs, and great laminated reference guides.
Report logs. I don't know what a report logo is, but they do have report logs.
Listen, you say it the way you want to say it.
Matt, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Fantastic job.
You're fired.
Their new dual pole radar training pack.
Dual pull rate.
Wow.
I've had my drink.
Okay.
I'm going to
And-
the bottom.
And new customers setting up an account will receive 5% off their order. And for a limited time, Stormfront Freaks podcast listeners will get an additional 5% off at checkout when they enter the code STORM. That's STORM. Lots of reasons why you should visit and support our partner, weatherproshop.com.
Not bad. All right, you finished strong. That's important.
Oh, there's more? Oh, great. Here we go. Uh-oh, I just lost the page. Now, hold on. All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Our podcast listeners will hear the latest edition of Titans U Minute with Chris Sanner. He's a stud, by the way. But stay right here. We'll be right back with Gary England to discuss the direction of TV meteorology.
Okay. I'll give you a B. I'll give you a B for that.
Hey, A-.
I'd give you higher, but unfortunately, you kept like losing it on your screen.
Yeah,
I'm
given sweating over here. What the heck?
Because here's the truth: more people pay attention when you kind of mess stuff up than when you just like get it right all the time.
That's true.
We did that on purpose.
All right, hey, during our quick break, Gary, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Will you do a quick plug? Do a quick plug for us, and say something like, "Hey, this is Gary England. It's Friday night in the big town, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast."
P-O-D.
P-O-D. Pod.
Stormfront Freaks. Who came up with that? Storm.
You should have heard the guys last episode try and do this.
Okay.
He's not even drinking.
Right.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Great. Is this the audio only? Audio, video?
It's just audio. Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's Friday night in the big town, baby. Jump back, throw me down, all dressed up, and no place to go. All right. Check in with the Stormfront Freaks and listen to their podcast because they're really good.
Okay, now say your name.
Let me do that again.
You did forget to say your name, but I think everybody will probably pick it up from what you said.
I state your name.
There you go. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1.5, 1.4, 1. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Gary England. It's Friday night in the big town, baby. All dressed up, no place to go. Jump back, throw me down, Loretta. Hey, be sure and listen in every week, right? Every week, the Stormfront Freaks podcast, baby. It's the best in the world. Jump back.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
That's the best ever.
All right, great.
Loretta. Yeah.
Yeah, Loretta.
What's your wife's name? Mary? What was
It's Mary. Yeah. Also, when I worked down there, you were putting every other Friday, we put on a Friday night in the big town thing, kind of like this, kind of wild, crazy.
Yeah.
But got Loretta in one of them. And we've never shown her picture, so we just talk about her. And this great picture comes up, it's tight red dress and knee-length boots, and they reveal. It's really great. Because I don't have a lot to do.
I'm single.
Okay, what's your name, Hoss?
Yeah, Big Hoss.
Big Hoss.
Okay, so coming out of break, Kim, you're going to take it coming out of break, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, so just go ahead and set up basically what we'll talk about here up until about the top of the hour is we'll talk about really getting into the future of where you guys think TV meteorology is going, but you can kind of reference, and all, especially Kim and Mark and Gary, especially you guys can really reference what you've seen happen in TV meteorology. Yeah. Reference that to talk about where you think you see it going. But I think there'd be a good discussion there. And then at the top of the hour, Maz, don't forget to come in, and you're our transition into break again, sir.
It's already forgotten. You got it.
Okay, perfect. We're good to go. All right, Kim, you want me to count you in, or are you good to go?
You can count me in.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back, everyone. We are live with Gary England, and we thought since we have Gary here that it would be a great time to discuss TV meteorology and the future of TV meteorology. And, maybe where we see it in the next 5, 10, even 25 years. So, Gary, you've been in the business a long time.
Long
Long time.
Long in the tooth.
Yes. So, what's your thoughts? I mean, you've seen a lot of changes over the years. So where do you see it in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I've seen a lot of changes, obviously. And it's been fun now to sit back and watch what's going on. But what I see really is weather moving a little bit away from television, a little bit more. My feeling, I may be totally wrong, but I think as time goes along, the meteorologists or the weather people that will be important and can keep their jobs will be the ones that really get into the in digital media. You got to be on all of digital platforms. You got to be doing all that stuff. But the person who will be the most valuable is the one that they trust. And so if you're in your business there, you build that trust with those people, and they may not watch you during regular weather. When it gets stormy, they'll come watch you. But there's a move. Let me tell you, there's so much going on. Now, let me cover up this thing too much, but there's something called WOOF. You familiar with WOOF?
No.
It's Warn on Forecast, WOF.
Okay.
Now, right now, the warnings are issued when somebody sees a tornado or, the radar looks like it, that type of thing. But the Warn on Forecast, the models that they're working with are very sophisticated, man. And they think before very much longer, they'll be able to pick out which thunderstorm is going to produce a tornado.
Wow.
And that's called Warn on Forecast. And we had a tornado 3-4 weeks ago, 4 months ago, whatever it was, in western Oklahoma, and they picked out that storm in that area, and maybe, I don't know how, it was an hour before it ever happened, say, this area of Oklahoma has the highest risk of a tornado. And that's done with computer modeling. And I haven't always been a big fan of computer modeling, but it's getting so good now. There's so many really smart people putting that stuff together. But Warn on Forecast, when the forecast is saying, we expect a tornado here in the next hour, that will go out, and it's called Warn on Forecast. They're very successful. We had one person killed, 8 injured, and I don't know, a couple hundred buildings blown away. So they're getting much better. So that's going to that, and like where we project the time of arrival now.
Yeah.
They're doing that. It's quite colorful. It's all these various colors that give you different probabilities, and their plans are like it will update. The radar is going to update. I think they said every minute, and so this data, the projection, going at that cone that goes out there, it will also change. It'll be updated every couple of minutes, and there'll be iPhones. They have the app. And if you're at home, and you see that cone on television or on the social media, and it says you're in a 20% probability, it's going to. And of course, the system is going to know where you are. It's going to tell you how far it is from you, and it's going to pass by. But if it changes a little bit, moves toward you, probabilities go up, it'll notify you again. So it keeps track of you, keeps track of the tornado and the changes with it. I looked at a radar down in Norman about 3 months ago, and this guy said, the head of research said, "You want to see this?" I said, "Yeah." So we went over, and he's a kid. He's probably like Hoss there, about
Big Hoss.
30 years old. How are you, Hoss? How old are you?
23. Just turned it a couple days ago.
Big hat, no cattle.
Arrest him. But they took me in there, and a young man, probably late 20s, early 30s, is doing the programming, and he's got this program, and they'd taken a Doppler on, it was a phased array, as I can recall, phased array it's on the back of a truck. Yeah. They parked it down there near Moore, and then everybody went someplace else to chase storms. But anyway, they got all this fantastic data, mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, a tornado. And you look at the program, and everybody talks about debris balls. Mm-hmm. When that thing hit buildings, that radar has such great resolution. You could see movement. You'd be roofs coming off, and it's just phenomenal. Wow. And with the program, you could look through that thunderstorm. You could just look through it. Everything was 3-dimensional, and as it went around, it went along and blew everything away. You saw it on the radar. So like I say, I think there's going to be less value for a regular weather guy just because it's sunny skies. And if you got some weather guy that built a great audience, they'll stay with you during severe weather. but it is changing. At least that's my opinion, and I'm wrong about half the time.
Well, you know what's interesting too, Gary, is that I even have some friends who aren't meteorologists, but they have like radar scope, app on their phone, and they understand some of the applications on. They understand about velocity. They understand all that. So I almost think too, we're educating people enough that they're getting savvy. They're getting savvy to this, where they may not need to tune into the television. They have their own app, like you were saying, that maybe this will be incredible if they can actually, get the information themselves and make a decision on their own. But I do think that the human element will never go away in severe weather. I mean, I've always thought that maybe one day you will be on call basically for TV. You will be doing the social media thing. And then if severe weather happens, that's when you will actually be brought out during the broadcast. Like, do you really need on a sunny day? Do you need the meteorologist to go on the air and say it's going to be sunny when everybody can look at their phone and know it's sunny? So their value on TV will not be as much. But like you said, the social media, maybe. And just be on the air when there's severe weather happening. So that's my thought.
I think you're right on. I think that's where it's headed.
Yeah.
It's the television is struggling to keep viewers as it is.
Right.
And so a lot of the coverage, at least here in Oklahoma City, they're on when they don't need to be, so they're running people off there.
Yeah.
And I can be on the golf course, and 6 guys, and somebody says, "Is it going to rain Saturday?" And before I can just look at them, I got and they okay, that says this. So I keep my mouth shut now, and it's kind of nice, but big changes.
Well, my husband does that to me. I mean, my kids will ask me what the weather's going to be, and he flips his phone out and gives it before I can even open my mouth. I'm like, wait a second. I'm the meteorologist here.
Yeah.
Shit, Kim. My wife asked me, and I'm not even a meteorologist. So.
Is that right?
I played one on TV.
Yeah, exactly. So where do you guys think? And this is for all of you, but where do you guys think Gary was talking about the hype train? Where is that helping? Is that pushing the cart in a certain direction for the future of TV weather?
It's pushing TV weather out. That's what it's doing.
Really?
Yeah, I firmly believe that. You can't just scare people time after time after time.
Agreed.
And right now you're on the air. You don't need to be on the air, and you're talking about, listen, I got the biggest Doppler in the world, and we got the largest truck, we got the biggest airplane, and it's like an info commercial. And people
That's our title, the biggest Doppler.
Yeah, that's it. Years ago we got one radar in. I named it Doppler 9000. I said nobody will put. Sure enough, right? Another guy put his Doppler 10,000. But
Gary's size is not everything.
Exactly.
Well,
Okay.
But I almost feel like too that's actually a little dangerous, because I feel like we're not at a point yet where like our forecast can just be completely computerized. We still need meteorologists. So I think as the public is viewing meteorologists in a more negative light, I think that's actually pretty dangerous, because everyone just looks at their phone now, and that's it's not good enough. It's not going to give you necessarily not always a good forecast. It might give you a general idea, but if you don't know how to read it and interpret it, then it's going to to be useless. So
yeah,
I
it's
think
still a
that's
science. Yeah, it's still
It is.
science.
It's still a science. Yeah.
Well, excuse me, Hoss.
I like talking.
The problem is they're doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
It's big changes. A lot of them are being forced. I
Yes.
think the viewership's going to continue to go down in weather and in TV the way it looks. If you can make there's got to be some magic transformation into the social media. Where I had a programmer not that long ago said, "Look, we can create you, and we can program where you looks just like you, and you can walk out in the digital world and give a forecast with all the proper moves and all that." That's where they're heading with some of this stuff. Nothing stays the same, and I started back when it was hardly anything. It's exciting to see what's happened, but I don't like to see what's happening now. And you're right, Hoss. The thing is that people turn at they whip out that storm scope, and they make decisions. Safety decisions based on what they see on that, and that's insane. But you can't change their minds. you can't.
No, and honestly, the thing I've noticed, the more I try and talk to them about it, the more I just convince them in the opposite direction. So it's a problem that I think needs to be addressed, because we're, I think, going in a dangerous, because we're not ready. I mean, we're just not ready to be completely digitalized in terms of forecasts. You still need that human element. So
well, and even though you have people that are learning more and more, I was at a baseball game a couple of years ago, I guess now, and I was at a place where my son was playing, and they had 6 games going on, real flat area, a whole bunch of fences and stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm like looking, going, oh, there's something getting closer here. And then we heard the thunder, and I'm like, I'm looking at the ump. And I'm like, no, and they're going to keep playing. And I walk up to the umpire and I'm like, listen, if you can hear it, we need to call this. And they're like, oh, well, who are you? I'm like, well, I'm a meteorologist. And I said, that's when they decided to call the games.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, because we got to get these games in, the kids and parents are busy. And so they're always going to need somebody to explain stuff, even if the trend is going to less meteorologists and maybe having that one meteorologist work more things, radio and everything, or even a sister station. They're going to get their money out of that person. So I think there's going to be more work for one person, and then a lot more information as well.
They're going to get every drop of blood out of that one person.
They are.
Because it's a double-edged sword. Think about it. Like, I don't like things being hyped either. But say the Weather Channel doesn't hype, and then everybody else does, and they're the ones that are kind of like, can you compete then? When everybody's like, oh my God, it's like the end of the world, so everybody's watching that. And so it's a double-edged sword, because a couple do it, so it's like everybody's got to do it, and then it's like crying wolf, because now nobody's like, oh, shut up, we don't believe you anyway.
You're exactly right.
Well, and it's kind of sad what we've seen in our lifetime with weather. Gary, you too, that we've seen it go from not important on television to all of a sudden it is, the thing. And the Weather Channel, I think, had a lot to do with that. The revolution of weather. And then now it's kind of on the downside again. So it's kind of sad to see that evolution where, it was one time it was the big deal, and now it's kind of heading out on TV. But again, social media will be, picking it up. So
let me ask you this.
Podcasts are really becoming popular, podcasts and things like this. So
yeah, and it's a bummer too, because I think there's a lot of students like me who wanted to go into broadcast meteorology, and it's just the future is it's glim. So I wish I would have been born like 20, 30 years ago. Maybe Gary and I could have worked together. We could have done some great things.
Well, that's a good note, Brady, and that was my question. On that note, is what would be your advice? Gary, especially Gary, Kim, Mark, what would be your advice now to students that are interested in getting into television meteorology?
Cheer up, Haas. It's not as bad as you think.
Cheers.
Yeah, Haas, it's going to be interesting. I work with the kids down to OU, and there's a lot of them in the meteorology classes. There's a lot of them in the in journalism, but they also concentrate on television meteorology or television weather. They're in journalism, and there's a lot of people. There's the jobs aren't there, but I tell them, I still think there's going to be a lot of jobs, maybe behind the scenes, social weather, whatever it is. But that thing that they all shoot for, that television thing, is not going to be like that. And it's changed already.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be change overnight, but it's the big change.
Yep.
Well, and you'll probably have to do maybe double major or something where you're going to have more social media. You're going to have more tech skills to kind of keep up with the trends.
Yeah. Well, at OU, it's a school of the School of Meteorology. It's mainly for people that want to be in research, but a lot of kids drift in there. They want to be on television too, and it's a brutal course. You want to get on TV, and you have to learn. You have to pass those courses down there, which is next to impossible. Right. And so a lot of kids
thick skin.
A thick skin, take a lot of abuse.
Yeah. Well, and you got to think what's going to happen to colleges too that offer broadcast meteorology. I mean, that's going to have to all change too. They're going to lose, people signing up for those courses. But
I think you have to have at least something that sets you apart from everybody else. Some kind of like a minor, I would say. Like mine was aviation. So you have weather and you have aviation. So maybe you can do something with airlines, or maybe you have something to do with where you can help with utility companies, these big companies that something you get. Like I remember talking to some news directors when I used to go out to different stations, and they said they would get stacks of tapes or however they do it now, and resumes, and they were all the same. They all had the same credentials. They all had the same everything. So you got to have that one little niche.
Yeah.
Find something that sets you apart, and it could be anything. It could be even a business, something business-like.
Dina, what about cats? What about
you can pour a cat. I don't know.
Dina, did you say aviation? Are those propellers, or did you just have a bad ceiling fan accent?
No, that's propellers.
Hey, we got to take our final break, you guys, so listeners can hear Brady's Storm School. Hey, the rest of you can refill your drinks, and when we come back, it's time for Weather Fools and Weather Resources. And those of you watching on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV, thanks for tuning in. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. And don't miss our new show on August 10th with Base Hunters Chasing. We'll see you next week.
Base.
All right. Hey, everybody watching, we'll be right back here. But Gary, great job, sir.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Gary.
Yeah.
Okay. It was good seeing all you guys.
Thanks, Gary.
Bye. Bye.
Hey,
Take care, everybody.
Great to get to meet you, Gary.
Gary, I'll follow up with you this weekend, but I'll make sure I send you the links to the show so you can
if they don't burn the studio down first.
If they don't do that, or if you don't delete my email, that would be the other thing.
Yeah, well,
jackass that keeps emailing you all the time.
So Loretta can watch you,
Loretta
right.
be good.
Gary, you were great. I do appreciate the time. You were outstanding,
a lot of fun.
Sir.
Thank you so much, Gary. It was great.
Have a great night.
So I can shut this off, right?
Yeah, you can go.
Big hoss, babe. Big hoss. Nice to see you.
Top of the screen. There's a little telephone that says "leave call." You can
Technology.
hit that.
Maybe on yours, but not on mine. Is it bad if I just X out?
You can do that
Just
too.
X out.
You're fine.
Bye, guys. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Thanks again.
I was gonna say he just put his laptop in his sink if that doesn't work.
That's why he's been in. That's why he's been in TV for 40 years, because he's got the best
Dude,
personality.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay. Maz, I give you an A on that one. A on that transition. Good job.
Well, I had it up this time. Instead of
There you go.
crap.
That's why I give you an A. That was
Holy
good.
smoke.
All right. Good job, guys. Rocking and rolling. Okay. So coming out of the break, Maz, it'll be you introducing weather resources.
Okay.
I have one.
All right.
I have one.
Dina.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I can show mine.
Is it bad? Is it nasty?
No, I just realized because I'm running this, I'd have to have two windows up because I have the master window, and that doesn't.
Can you do it in
allow me.
post-production afterwards?
I will.
talk about it?
Well, I'll just talk about it, but I just won't be showing the video. That's all.
Okay. So I'll do weather resources, and then I'll have Brady do weather fools afterwards.
Yes, Brady does weather fools, and then Brady, you'll also lead into listener comments and responses. Do you have that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. There's
So
two
just
Twitters.
Dina and Phil? Just Dina and Phil for weather resources?
I have a weather reurse. Yes.
Oh, you
Dina and
guys.
Phil.
Oh,
Okay.
you guys suck.
I know.
Oh,
you know,
sorry, did I say that
Phil,
out loud?
I was
Sorry.
going to, but I ended up spending 2 hours in traffic coming home today, and I was like,
Mm.
God. darn it."
You're one of those last minute people.
I know. Yes.
All right.
Today I was
That's all right.
anyway, and I shouldn't have done that. I apologize.
That's all right. Maz never has one, so you'll never be
I
as
had one on the first episode.
That's right.
A year ago.
Yeah. Has it been a year? Oh, man.
It's been over a year.
All right, and I do have a weather fool
Okay.
because I figured none of you would bring one of those either.
You know,
job.
a lot of
Good
funny
job.
things. Like funny things have been happening with the weather though lately. It's just been kind of like
crap. If I can find it, and I'm not even in weather for crying out loud. Just look at Twitter. Look at Twitter for 10 minutes a day.
I don't.
That's true.
Pretty sure he said bulls crap.
Yeah, I'm calling you guys out.
I don't want to look at Twitter. Sucks, dude. Else than like weather photos, it's just too much political BS.
Bulls crap.
Yeah, you have to know who to follow. I use lists, Twitter lists. And so I'm not like looking at my whole follow feed because there's all kinds of that crap in there. I just do lists so that I'm just kind of highlighting who are a couple of people that I really want to look at. And
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Guys, look at my bird.
dude, don't show us your bird. We're still live. We're still live. Okay.
You can tell he's actually drinking this time.
So am I the only one that has a weather fool?
No, I do.
Oh,
I do.
Dina does.
God.
I do.
Jeez. Wow. Okay.
Dina Phil.
All right.
Stars of the show.
Sorry, I worked all week.
Okay.
They're in love.
Hey, the rotating
He's
seats. I'll
already.
just bring it up again. The seats are rotating. Obviously, we're bringing in a new one.
Hey, your cats won't like those birds.
That's right.
They won't. No, my cat would love that bird. She'd eat.
All right. So we're good. So Maz, you're coming out.
Yep.
Don't forget to go to stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 32 show notes. Then Brady, introduce Weather Fools. Don't forget to post it on episode 32 show notes online. And then you can just jump.
Oh, wait, never mind. I'm good. Never mind. I'm good. Sorry.
He's drunk.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, we got to hurry up or we're going to lose them fast.
All
And
right.
then when you're done with that, I will close. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Let's go.
Quickly. That's maybe a good reason we only have 2 Weather Fools and Weather Resources.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
All
All
right,
set? Here we go.
we're ready.
Good.
3, 2, 1. And welcome back. It's time now for Weather Resources, the place where you can find out what's some of the new cool stuff out there where you can check out weather. So let's start things off with Dina. What do you have, Dina?
All right. I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is a weather page that I had newly discovered. It's called www.spaghettimodels.com. And it's kind of like a dashboard. This guy who put it together has everything on here you could think of. It's got radar. It's got the forecast maps. It's got the surface maps. It's got NWS pages. It's got spaghetti models. It's got tropical. It's got weather underground. I mean, it's got everything here you could possibly want. This could be like a great homepage.
Hot tub.
Shameless plug.
Hot tub.
I know. So, like, you could go down and pretty much see everything you want to see right on one page. And I'm really digging this page. It's www.spaghettimodels.com.
Was that a Hunger Games ad I saw on there on the right of the screen?
What was it?
Would you
Like
guys
a
stop
I
looking at
swear.
that crap on the side all the time?
He's looking at ads.
I don't know. Hey, I've already used
We're
that
gonna
website
stop
before.
showing this shit on
I've already used that
video.
website before.
That's what you guys are gonna look at all the time.
Haas looking at the Viagra commercials.
I love how he called me
Oh,
Hans
man.
too. I was like,
Okay.
I
Thank
know.
God it didn't
I feel
have
like
any
such
kitten
I feel like such a young.
videos. He would have got really distracted.
All right, Phil, take us away, please.
All right, my weather resource, WX resource. Sorry, let me correct myself. WX resource is, of course, we've had Mike Olbinski on the show in the past, and Mike just recently, actually, we had him last episode. I had him as a weather resource and a weather fool, but the weather fool was tongue in cheek. However, he's just put out his new time lapse video.
Ooh.
And if you've seen his time-lapse videos, and that's what he gets all these awards for, it's outstanding, guys. And it's called Pursuit. And so if you want to go, the best way to watch it, in my opinion, is if you go to Vimeo. Anybody know?
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it? Okay.
Uh-huh.
If you go to Vimeo and look up Pursuit, or look up Mike Olbinski, Olbinski, and because you can watch it in 4K.
Wow.
Nice.
Vimeo. And it is, guys, it is just, you watch this, and I made a comment, grab your popcorn and your candy and your soda, because it is beautiful. It is outstanding.
Phil, how does he get, you might not know this, but like, how does he get, because when you take a time lapse, it takes photos like every 2 seconds, but it almost seems like he's taking photos like, 30 frames per second or something. I don't understand how he does
That's the
that.
4K, I bet.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if we asked him that question, But yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna have this guy on again sometime again.
Yeah, I've got to ask him. I'm trying to.
We'll ask him then because it's outstanding. It really is.
Okay.
All right. Well, you can check out stormfrontfreaks.com and look at our episode 32 show notes for links and more information on what you've just seen, just in case you missed it. But now, Brady, you got Weather Fools.
All right, guys, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast. It's Weather Fools, where I always like to say that, and that's not written down. That's just from my heart, everyone. But
Wow.
it's basically where we look at someone or something that did something silly or stupid in the news or on TV, and it has to do with weather. Usually makes for a great YouTube video or something like that. I believe Phil is our only. Weather
I got one.
Oh, Dina's got one too. Okay, Dina's got one as well. Dina, you want to start us off?
All right. Let me share my screen. This is funny. The guys will like this. So this is Jim Ramsey. This was a couple years ago, but he's the weatherman, and he gets a surprise of a lifetime. So he's there, and all of a sudden he's got like Playboy bunnies.
No, there's no way.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah. And the one Playboy bunny's wearing the green bathing suit. So she's
Oh,
got
gosh.
the map over her.
You can see right through her.
The
Yeah.
rest of you, stop talking so I can see it.
Yeah. Did you hear Maz go?
Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
My gosh.
And you
Oh,
can tell that he's just so
Turn it
happy.
off, Grandma. This is the time.
love
This is
Chicago.
the time.
You can go through here. He's laughing.
What's the
Like,
bunny
where's my
ears
tail?
on? Oh my
They're trying to
gosh.
bail on him, and then at the end, when they go to leave, all the crew starts following them out.
Unbelievable.
They all slept on the couch.
Yeah, there goes the camera guy. It's just so funny. I love it.
That's funny.
That's great.
All right, that was a cute one.
It was good.
That was awesome. All right, Phil, what is your weather fool?
All right, my weather fool, and I am actually going to see if I have a chance to share this. I might be able to do it.
The green button. There you go.
Okay, so this is Mashable.com. If you go to Mashable.com, the title of the article is "Almost 100,000 people were watching a fake Facebook Live of a tornado GIF," and basically what happened is somebody, and who was it? Newsfeed. Newsfeed was the Facebook account that basically posted a GIF where someone took a photo, someone else's photo, by the way, and they created a GIF out of it to kind of make it move a little bit. And Newsfeed took that and they put it on live like this was really happening.
Ooh.
And here's what happened. So at one point, more than 90,000 people were watching it at the same time. The video got more than 14 million views, 360,000 shares, 256,000 comments, and 900,000 reactions.
Oh, I want to
And
rest.
all the while, this was fake. It was fake. They took
news.
someone else's stuff
Fake
Yeah.
news.
This was recent too. I saw it.
they posted someone else's stuff. So this,
Yeah.
you talk about fake news. Yeah,
Yeah.
You talk. That's just a joke. The Newsfeed
Wow.
for doing a live of nothing. It's just sad that they got all those
corrupt.
people. It's just,
It is corrupt. We need to find the person in charge and take them down.
But they made money on that, didn't they? I mean, you would think after all those
well,
views,
you know,
don't
when
they
you
get
get all
some kind
those
of
hits.
kickback?
Yeah, you get all those hits. There'll be money there.
Boy, there's going to be more people doing this. You watch.
We talk about where the future of TV meteorology is going.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
scares the crap out of me.
Gifts.
Yeah, it
Just
does.
gifts of weather guys.
That's
Well, the Playboy bunnies.
Playboy
on the
bunnies.
internet.
That's also the future. All right.
That's in Europe.
So all these videos will be posted on our episode 32 show notes page located at stormfrontfreaks.com. Be sure to go check that out. While you're there, you should also check out our gear as well that we sell on our website. It's pretty gnarly gear. I've got a hat and a sweatshirt myself.
Yeah.
A little
Cool.
shameless plug there. Now let's go to the listener questions and responses, which on the script it has my name by it. So I guess that means it's my turn to.
That
my
means
turn to
you.
start?
Yep.
Yeah, there
Keep going,
you go.
Brady.
Okay,
You're
so
rolling.
this is Mary Sloan at MMM or MM Mary Sloan. She said, "Not gonna lie, like any self-respecting female WX nerd, I kind of have a huge crush on Cantori, ... Great episode, ! I think she said, and Brady at the end of it, but I'm not sure.
Not enough characters left for that.
Yeah. And then our second tweet that we have is from Mark DeBruin at Iowa Storm Chaser. There's no E, it's just Chaser with an R. And he said, you guys should definitely put the names of the people on the podcast in the title of the raw video on YouTube. Also, very well done with the tornado trackers. So
cool.
And we did, and that was a great suggestion. Yeah, and so we'll start doing that. So thanks for the feedback, Mark.
Yeah, good.
And all of you, hey, all of you guys, we always love responses from you, and that was a great one. Helps us get better. And we like it if you just have great comments to say about the guests we're having on the show, or Brady, Big Hoss.
For me.
Feel free to send us comments, email, find us Stormfront Freaks, look for us on social media, or just go to stormfrontfreaks.com and you can get a hold of us there as well.
Big hat, cattle.
Yeah, before everybody gets too wasted playing the Gary England drinking game, I think that about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast and Stormfront Freaks Raw. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. Please take the time to leave us a review, and please subscribe to our show so you get all the latest content. You get it right away. If you don't subscribe to the show on your podcast app, a lot of times you got to wait a day, even after it's been released, for you to even get it. Definitely special thanks to our guest, Gary England.
Yeah.
He was the best.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And our next episode in 2 weeks, we're recording live on August 10th. It'll be with the storm chasing group, Base Hunters Chasing. So go to stormfrontfreaks.com or our YouTube channel if you want to watch it live. So from Az and Dina and Brady and Kim, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we will catch you next time.
Where's the name?
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
I hope that was the
Brady's giving us his bird again.
Give the kid one drink.
I know.
Is it a bird, or is it like I don't even know what this is. I think my parents bought it.
Isn't that one of those things that
No.
go like?
I don't know. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, my parents bought this because I'm down here in Florida, so I'm not actually at my house.
You stole a flamingo.
Maybe I did.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. Give that guy one drink.
I know.
Holy, it's about time you drink with us, so Brady.
Hey, all you had to say was drinking game.
If it takes you being down in Florida, you need to be in Florida more often.
All right. Hey, that's my eventual goal.
Hurricane season. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. All right. I'm.